I never played the original Blood. I wasn't lucky enough to have a PC when I was younger, and I couldn't be asked to mess around with DOSBox to get it working on current systems. Luckily for me, last week saw the release of Blood Fresh Supply, a remaster of the classic shooter, so I decided to see what the game had to offer in terms of Easter eggs, and trust me, I wasn't disappointed. Join me today as we take a look at 15 Easter eggs, secrets or references in Blood Fresh Supply. For those that have played this game, you'll know that the game is packed with references to pop culture, so I've picked 15 of the best that I could find, but if you think that I should have included something else, then the best place to let me know is on Instagram or Twitter. The links to both will be in the description and in my pinned comment. So without further delay, let's get started. So let's start by taking a look at the lengthy list of movie references found in Blood. First up is this quote, which can be heard in episode 2, mission 4.
Come out, wherever you are.
So the line, come out wherever you are, can be heard in the 1980 film The Shining.
Come out, wherever you are.
That's not the only reference to The Shining found in this level. In a hedge maze, you can find this.
Here's Johnny.
So along with the now famous Here's Johnny quote, you can also find the body of Jack Torrance, who suffered the same fate in the movie.
Here's Johnny.
The next couple of Easter eggs are references to iconic horror movie killers. First up, in episode 4 mission 3, you can find this sweater and a hat. Both of these are a reference to Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street films. Episode 4 Mission 4 is aptly named Crystal Lake. Crystal Lake is a location in the Friday the 13th movies, and it's on this level we can find Jason Voorhees' iconic mask, his knife, and even hear the creepy ch-ch-ch sound from the films. Sticking with horror film references now, though this one is slightly more campy than the previous two. During episode 1 mission 1 you can hear Caleb say this.
I live again.
So this is a line said by Ash in the third installment of the Evil Dead franchise, Army of Darkness.
I live again.
Moving on from horror films now, and onto one of my favourite films ever. In episode 1 mission 4 you can find a secret area hiding some prison overalls. The name of Kimball is written on the overalls, which is a reference to Dr. Richard Kimball, played by Harrison Ford in the 1993 movie The Fugitive.
Your fugitive's name is Dr. Richard Kimball.
The next movie reference is really hard to hear. I played around with the game's sound settings, but for some reason Caleb seems to say this line very quietly. At the start of episode 2 mission 1 you can just about hear Caleb say this.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
So in case you missed it, Caleb says you're going to need a bigger boat, which is the same line said in the 1975 Steven Spielberg classic movie Jaws.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
This next clip is a reference to a movie I only just recently got around to watching, but I'm definitely glad I did. During episode 3 mission 1 you can find this secret room. So this entire room is a reference to this scene from the Brad Pitt movie 7.
Wax sculpture or something.
This reference is a little vague compared to the others we've seen so far, but it's another film that I love, so I had to include it in this video. During episode 1 mission 2, you can hear Caleb say this.
Ooh, rat burgers.
This is almost certainly a reference to the 1993 Sylvester Stallone movie Demolition Man, and this scene in particular.
Rat. This is a rat burger. Not bad.
The final movie reference is to a film I'd be surprised if many of you have seen. Again, during episode 1 mission 1 you have to enter the Morningside Cemetery. This is the same name as the funeral parlour from the 1979 movie Phantasm. Now be serious, how many of you have actually heard of this film? I'd love to know. So that just about does it for the movie references in the game. This next Easter egg is a reference to the play Hamlet written by William Shakespeare. During episode 1 mission 7, Caleb sees a dead body and shouts out this.
Ophelia?
Ophelia was a character from Hamlet who died. This next Easter egg references one of my favourite running jokes from The Simpsons. The joke was that Bart would ring Moe's Tavern and ask Moe to call out a name. Some examples of these are Seymour Butts, Mike Crotch, Alcoholic, and last but not least, this one.
Hello, may I speak to Mr. Jas? First name Hugh.
So the person on the other end of the phone asks for Hugh Jass. That one shouldn't need any explaining. A surprising amount of references can be heard if you leave Caleb standing still. While you're not controlling him, Caleb will sing multiple Frank Sinatra songs.
I did it my way. Strangers in the night, exchanging glances. I get no kick from champagne. Mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. But I get a kick out of you.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Row, row, row your boat.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream.
And Putting on the Ritz, to name just a few.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, putting on the Ritz.
Blood originally released at a time when FPS games were the king of gaming. Games like Doom, Wolfenstein 3D, Quake and Duke Nukem were household names, and Blood pays its respects to one of those games in the only way it knows how. During episode 1 mission 4 you can find this.
I got time to play with you.
So this is the body of Duke Nukem, and when Caleb sees him he says, "I ain't got time to play with you," which is a line that Duke himself said at the beginning of Duke Nukem 3D.
Don't have time to play with myself.
The final Easter egg in the game is something that a lot of games released at this time did. Think of it as the Dark Souls Easter egg of that era. During episode 1 mission 6, if you enable invincibility and fall off the map, you can find this. This quote is actually a reference to this scene from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Dude, this is a totally deep hole. Yeah!
So that's it. That's 15 Easter eggs, secrets or references in Blood Fresh Supply. I hope you guys liked the video. I don't usually cover games like Blood, but I'm glad I did. It's a great throwback to 90s FPS games. Remember, if you think there's a clip that I should have included in the video, then the best place to let me know is on Instagram or Twitter. The links to both will be in the description and in my pinned comment. If you're a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in video games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.